Can the Golden Knights break their two-game losing streak against the rejuvenated San Jose Sharks, winners of two straight? Something's got to give tonight, folks. We'll talk about that right here on Locked On Golden Knights.
You're Locked On Golden Knights, your daily podcast on the Vegas Golden Knights, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Hi again, everyone. Tony Cardasco, Chris Colley from Las Vegas. Thanks for making us your first listen each and every day. Find us wherever you get your podcast, and make sure to check out our YouTube channel. Subscribe there at Locked On Golden Knights. Today's episode is brought to you by Jase Medical. Empower yourself when you purchase a Jase Case, providing you with a personal supply of 5 antibiotics that treat 50-plus infections. Get yours today at jasemedical.com. That's JASE Medical.com. Chris, we've got an action-packed show today, and the Golden Knights try to get back on track tonight after losing two straight in Anaheim and in LA. And we have a battle tonight of two teams going in opposite directions. Sharks winners of two straight.
I mean, I think
You
we're
like the hype?
overselling.
You like
I think
the
you're
hype,
overselling this a little bit. I mean, listen, first of all, credit the Sharks. We've been dogging on them all season. They do come out and get two victories. They beat the Flyers, right, who took the Golden Knights to the limit not too long ago at T-Mobile Arena. And then obviously the Edmonton Oilers, which, I mean, we're going to hit that obviously in the next segment, but still the Edmonton Oilers. I mean, they're not the Oilers, but they are the Oilers. And credit the Sharks for finding a way to hold on. I mean, it was a fun game last night. The Sharks threw everything they could at the, or the other way around, the Oilers threw everything they had at the Sharks. They definitely emptied the clip a couple of times, and the Sharks held strong. And I think if we're going to start with tonight's preview, I mean, I think it really starts with Mackenzie Blackwood, right, Tony? He's, I joked, if you remember, about a week ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, the Sharks named Mackenzie Blackwood their player of the month with like a 4-something goals against and like at the time like an 8.8 save percentage, 880 save percentage or something. But watching the Sharks last couple of games, and especially last night, now I see why Mackenzie Blackwood is getting some flowers right now. He's looking good. He's facing a million more shots than what John Gibson was facing last year with the Ducks. And I mean, if there's ever a spot where you look at an 8.99 save percentage and a 4.0 goals against and think this dude's not doing too bad, it's the 2023-24 edition of Mackenzie Blackwood and the San Jose Sharks.
So in the first meeting, it was Kaapo Kähkönen. He was the goaltender, and there's perhaps no chance that Blackwood tonight will start another rigged back-to-back as San Jose comes here to Las Vegas.
The red hot
VGK,
Sharks, red hot San Jose Sharks. Come on.
VGK won 4-1. That was the final, October the 12th. Nick Hague, William Karlsson, 2 points apiece. Jack Eichel in that game had 6 shots on net, so hopefully he comes out firing away. Logan Thompson stopped 22 of 23. Philip Zadina had the goal for the Sharks. They had an interesting stat on last night's game. The VGK, I think, has doubled. Well, in our world here, VGK has doubled the scoring amount of its opponent, thereabouts, in the second period. They're starting to play that second period the way they powered past opponents last season. Did you see the goal differentials for the second and third periods? They had the graphic up last night. San Jose, second and third periods, minus 29, second and third. And not far behind the Oilers, I updated this myself, it was minus 30 for the Sharks, by the way. And in the second and third periods, the Oilers, minus 18. Seattle, minus 18. Goal differentials in the second and third periods. So these are teams, if they score early, but they're not getting anything late. Interesting statistic.
It's interesting. I mean, it's listen, it's the statistic of teams that aren't performing well right now. And if you're not scoring as the game goes on. I mean, it's very near impossible to get out to an early lead and sustain it for the entire game in the NHL. Sustain. There's our early word of the day nominee, but I mean, it's not surprising. And looking at the Pacific right now, I mean, you got Vegas, you got LA, and you got Vancouver. And outside of those teams, it's a cesspool of filth right now that's not performing that well. I know we're going to talk more about Edmonton later, but are we going to hear from Edmonton at some point this season? Probably. Seattle going to get better? I think so. Anaheim is a fun story right now, too. I mean, I didn't even mention Anaheim a second ago. I should have given them more respect. They've certainly earned it early in the season, given their roster composition from a year-over-year perspective. And Calgary, is what it is right now. I think that covered the entire Pacific. So interesting to see what's going on. But I mean, the Sharks are going to be fun tonight, right? They're coming to Vegas with house money. They're coming to Vegas with house money.
Goal differential, second and third periods, -29. Enough said. Okay. And they're
going to be a positive over the last two games, though.
It is. I think they're +1 maybe over the last two games.
I mean, you gotta give them credit. They're doing well. I know I don't do this a lot in the show, but you have to give the Sharks credit right now. They're fun. They're doing well.
WTF.
They're playing well. No, give them credit. Seriously give them credit. It's good.
No, it's good. And they put Hurdle and Eklund on the top line, and that's been a major difference. Those two are skating very well together. Hurdle had the goal last night, right? He had one of the goals late in that contest, and he also had the assist to Zetterlund, which was really nice, that feed in front. Gone for this team, in case you haven't kept pace with the Sharks, and very few people have, gone from last season, Timo Meier, Erik Karlsson, and then they added Anthony Duclair, had a really funky man. He just fell into the boards in the corner last night. It was quite a collision. And Michael Greenland and Jan Ruda are also new additions there. Granlund, I should say, and Ruda are new additions there for the Sharks. And David Quinn, they were talking about this on the broadcast last night, said results were getting in the way of playing like a team. So he felt that they were playing together, but they weren't getting the results. And he said that he's never seen a happier locker room than he saw a couple of nights ago when they finally broke through. But this was a team that lost to the Canucks. They lost to the Penguins 10-1 and 10-2, right? So they gave up 20 goals over 2 games. And this would be a great turnaround if they can at least just be competitive, correct?
Of course. I mean, there's a ton of young talent on the roster, and they're still in the Erik Karlsson deal. I forgot the exact players, but I think it was Mike Hoffman was one of them, and I forgot the other one, but they had to take on 2 really bad contracts. So really the only thing they did was speed up their rebuild process by 4 years. Erik Karlsson had 4 years left on his 11-5 deal, took in 2 contracts that expire in 2 years. Did get a first out of it, so that's going to help them. But they're still, I mean, they're at least a half decade away possibly from even being a playoff team. But once they are, depending on how well their general manager, how the rebuild and stuff goes, half decade from now, we could be talking about a team that is really controlling the Pacific. And, like the Golden Knights, a team that everyone knows you have to go through to potentially win the division. And it starts with Eklund. It starts with Thomas Bordelot. I don't know how much longer Tomas Hurdle's going to be around. Zadina, I mean, I know Zadina's there on a bridge deal just to kind of get things going. He agreed to a mutual contract termination with the Detroit Red Wings, and he bet on himself. He went to San Jose, not the best situation, but he went to San Jose so he can prove to, someone who's willing to give him a bag of money next year. Only 3 goals, no assists. So I'm not sure if the Zadina experiment's going according to plan right now, but there's other things that people are going to be looking at with the Sharks team outside of stats. You kind of alluded to that a second ago, where stats are getting in the way of some things. Well, okay, fine. I mean, a bad team can be a fun story. A bad team can be fun to cover all these storylines and things that are happening. And I'm sure there's a lot of good happening in San Jose right now. The rookies are developing. They got a couple big wins, and it's weird. They come to Vegas. Like, Vegas is usually the Super Bowl. Like, they're one of their most exciting games of the year, and it should be, because there is a low-key rivalry that's still there. Some of the players have been there, obviously, going back to the not a major drama in the first playoff series in 2017, 2018. But after what happened last night in Edmonton, I think they're going to come in, like you said, a little more relaxed. And I think, I don't know if their foot might not be on the gas as hard as you might have expected it to be.
Okay, look at the goal differential. Let's do our locks of the night here, and let's get everything teed up there with little Chris and our predictions as VGK. This will be the final game for the Golden Knights as they head to the nation's capital, the visit to the White House. Carly, if you will. I can't call them nicknames. This drives me nuts. Vegas Bjorn falling down the steps. We know. Who's going to speak for VGK at the White House? Cassidy?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Oh, no, they're going to pull rank. No, it'll be McPhee or McCrimmon. They're going to pull rank when Cassidy. Okay, I can't start WTF too soon.
That's what it sounds like you're doing right now.
Cassidy he deserves to. No, free Kerry Buboltz. Let him do the speech.
Okay. I like that. I mean, I obviously, I'm a fan of Buboltz. I kind of inadvertently started the movement for his name being on the cup, and I honestly wouldn't be against that.
I was screaming.
You were screaming, and then I wrote about it, and we tag teamed it. Okay, fine. I'll meet you halfway.
Okay, little Chris, man, let's go. Give us your locks of the night.
You're batting leadoff tonight, buddy. Let's
go.
What
your predictions. Let's go.
5-0 Sharks.
Okay, good. Okay. They're going to cut into that goal differential.
Pacioretty? What are you talking about, dude?
Yeah, that's what I mean. We're not
Chris, stop it.
Okay.
Okay,
fine. I go March.
Those are my two.
They're not gonna do good.
You're not helping your show tomorrow, bro.
Yeah. Your debut tomorrow. Get ready.
You might get replaced. You might get replaced by Bauser.
Is he going to
Bowser tomorrow instead?
Is he going to wear his hat backwards like Pops? Will he?
I don't know. Like he might have just got canceled. I don't know.
Who
did you say? Who were your players?
Same ones as me, Eichel and Marchessault.
Eichel and Marchessault, okay.
Okay, and I've got 5-3 VGK. I'm on a tear. I've won 2 straight.
Eichel, so you're Eichel and Marchessault as well.
Yeah, but I've picked the dog. No respect here. I've picked the dog the last 2 games.
I mean, the Golden Knights are the favorite every game right now, so it's they're not going to win every game. And when we
made some good bank.
Well, and when we go against the Golden Knights, people get so mad at us. Oh, but they almost did go 82-0, so I guess maybe the people have something to go on right there.
I deserve flowers. Give me flowers. Okay.
6-1 Golden Knights. I don't think there's going to be any concern tonight for all the things you said in the beginning about them, about San Jose coming this one a little tired, a little worn out. Amadio's been on the doorstep, so I'm backing up on Amadio. I think Amadio is going to get there tonight. Yep. And outside of Amadio, I want to do something. Doro. Okay. Amadio and Dorofeev, 2 names you might not have expected at the start of the season, but here we are.
Coming up next, did VGK break Edmonton, the Oilers, as they come up with a big L against San Jose last night? That topic next, right here on Locked On Golden Knights. As a business owner, you realize that there are times when receivables might fall behind, but that doesn't mean that you need to fall behind on vendor payments, payroll, or even rent. For more than 25 years, Parkview Advance has helped businesses secure working capital from $5,000 to $1.5 million. Parkview Advance can approve your working capital in as little as 24 hours. It is much easier to process than you might even imagine. And we invite the many entrepreneurs that are Locked On NHL fans, Locked On VGK fans to learn more by calling us at area code 203-675-0071. Again, 203-675-0071. Or go to parkviewadvance.com. If your business needs some working capital, this is what you need to do. Call Parkview Advance today. Parkview Advance, helping businesses with their working capital. Go to parkviewadvance.com. If you are running a business of one, you are also wearing many hats in your day-to-day. So what we're doing here, folks, is trying to help a lot of the entrepreneurs out there, independent contractors, if you will. And with collective bookkeeping and accounting, doesn't need to be one of those things that you have to really focus on each and every day yourself, because we know you wear very many hats. You can start saving thousands of dollars and hours of your time by letting Collective handle your business paperwork. Collective is the #1 financial solution for freelancers, for contractors, and self-employed entrepreneurs that lets you focus on your passion, not on your paperwork. Let Collective handle all the paperwork that you dread, like corporate formation, like compliance, taxes, taxes, bookkeeping, all of those things, accounting, payroll. Join the thousands of solopreneurs. We're going to get that right. Solopreneurs, they call them today, who have saved an average of $10,000 per year on taxes with this structure. Right now, Collective is offering 1 month free and no onboarding fee when you go to collective.com/LockedOnNHL and tell them that Locked On NHL sent you. That's a $550 value for free when you go to collective.com/LockedOnNHL. Tell them Locked On NHL sent you. That's collective.com/LockedOnNHL and tell them Locked On NHL and Locked On VGK sent you. Welcome back. Locked On Golden Knights. Tony Cardasco, Chris Golick from Las Vegas. Thanks for making us your first listen each and every day. A couple of solopreneurs here. Got to get that right, man. I always have trouble with
I know that's new. I actually like that, though. It's kind of cool.
Solopreneurs. Make sure that you definitely check out the YouTube channel, Locked On Golden Knights. It is WTF Day, What the Friday, that's coming up in our final segment. Tomorrow, it's Chris X Chris. So you get Chris times Chris.
Maybe.
Why? Because of the Pacioretty statement? I like that, though. Well, last night we saw the Edmonton Oilers faltering on the road in San Jose. They actually had a pretty good crowd there. Pretty interesting clip there of Jay Woodcroft walking off of the ice and saying to his assistant coach, that might have been it. The biggest question here is, did VGK expose more or less the Edmonton Oilers in the playoffs enough to where teams have caught up? Obviously, they have internal problems. This is a team that's playing with no spark. Yes, they definitely scrambled. Last 5 minutes of that game last night were really a lot of fun to watch. But what do you think is up with Edmonton? Did Vegas break Edmonton? Did they leave here from Las Vegas like most tourists do, broke, and with a lot of regret?
And apparently they still have a marriage in Woodcroft that they need to annul pretty soon, too. So back to you.
It's got to be today. It's got to be the next couple. It's got to be soon.
I mean, let's look at the Edmonton Oilers right now. On the season, they're 2-9-1, which means since the last time the Oilers beat the Golden Knights, which was game four of the divisional round, the Oilers are now 2-11-1, dating back to the last time they beat the Golden Knights. Did the Golden Knights break the Oilers? I mean, I think it's something that bears discussion. Going back, I had to unearth this right now because I'll give myself flowers on this one. David Staples from the Edmonton Journal, Tony, remember last summer, tuned into one of our podcasts, and 2 different articles Staples put out there, my thoughts on Woodcroft. And again, this is back from May, okay? Back from May. Really quick here. Just wonder if Woodcroft was trying to outsmart himself. He did well in the AHL. Great example of working his way up through the ranks like Cassidy to get to where he is now. But the difference is Woodcroft came into a turnkey situation, and I don't know if he's ready for this. Obviously, we learned by now he's not ready for this, but it's up to the Oilers to figure out. And then one step farther, I definitely do not think they need a homegrown coach. This is not knocking Woodcroft, what he's done. He's got a good storyline and everything, but he is not ready to lead an NHL bench full of superstars like this. It's been proven. I mean, yeah, they had a conference final visit, and I think in his first year, so he gets a little bit of credit there. But how different is the roster from a year-over-year perspective? I get the players are having trouble. But like I was tweeting last night, in between the first and second period, what is Woodcroft possibly saying to the players? Okay, let's stick to the system. We're playing our game. Win those battles. Win those races. Everything is going well. We're going to be just fine. We're the better team. Rah, rah, rah. And then all of a sudden they're losing between the second and third period. Like, I'm just trying to picture the look on McDavid, Draisaitl's, Evander Kane's, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, Darnell Nurse, like all these high-priced players, and they're watching Woodcroft up there just pacing around trying to motivate him or whatever it is that he does. And I think they're rolling their eyes. I think they're absolutely rolling their eyes. So, whether this is all on Woodcroft or the players or the general manager or the fact that they've decided to send their goaltender to the AHL, which apparently
Jack
with the
Campbell.
game, I don't know if you saw, he gave up an absolute floater rolling puck, just terrible. You feel for him like you do. I mean, I watched Leon Draisaitl's interview after the game. He's broken. Leon Draisaitl is absolutely broken right now. And I know Vegas can't stand Draisaitl, present company included, but it's a lot of talent up there. And it's not good for the AHL if McDavid isn't on a team that's doing well right now.
So Jack Campbell was sent on waivers, and then now he's in the minor leagues. Coming up, the VGK tie-in, the first selection of the Vegas Golden Knights during the 2017 NHL expansion draft is the new backup to Skinner, and that's Calvin Picard.
Yes.
Threw that at you. Little knowledge, local knowledge here. Okay, so Connor McDavid, just 10 points I thought I saw in the game last night. And last season, here was a guy that was explosive late in games. He had 53 total third period points last year.
So
53 in the third period. This year, 0. None. Is he still hurt? Is he still injured?
Yeah, you beat me to it. That's what the scuttlebutt is right now in Edmonton, that he came back too fast. I mean, why? I'm not a doctor and I don't know anything about what they do, but I know when you're coming back from an injury and then you go and play in an outdoor game where your body isn't necessarily used to that type of condition and atmosphere and all of that. Like, I don't know how that could possibly help things. Like, was McDavid out there just to give the fans their money's worth? Because if he wasn't out there, the battle for Alberta would possibly have not been as exciting. Like, I don't know what the thought process is. And I think it's a desperation move. I mean, McDavid looks okay out there. Like, he doesn't look like McDavid as far as his points go, but you watch his cuts, you watch his skating, you watch how hard he works. So, I mean, I don't know what's up there, but long term, I mean, imagine if they just say they're going to shut McDavid down for a moment right now to get better. And I mean, who knows? Maybe they rally around that. Like, we've seen stranger things happen in sports. And Calvin Picard, the interesting story there, I remember he let the fans, I believe, like design his mask or something like that. Or we were talking about it at one of the practices, and like he put out his new mask and for everything, and then the Golden Knights waived him or traded him like the day after or something. Pretty crazy.
I just remember that Mr. J / Jimmy Fallon ripped his team last year after Game 3, and from that point on, they just really didn't have it. I saw a stat.
So this is Jimmy Fallon's fault. Got it.
Yes,
Jimmy Fallon curse.
Yeah, Jay Woodcroft, Jimmy Fallon, same person. Skinner's gone downhill since the playoffs, really, if you think about it. Did you know that Edmonton has lost 7 straight game 1s in the playoffs? So they need to get out to it. They're not going to see this season. They won't have a chance to make amends.
I'm not counting Edmonton out. I'm not counting out a roster that has McDavid and Draisaitl. No.
What about
I won't count them out until they are
day of Woodcroft. What about that?
I will listen. We've seen last place teams make it to a World Series in baseball before. We've seen the 8 seed Los Angeles Kings win a Stanley Cup before. So I will not count out any team in the NHL. Okay, I'll count the Sharks out, but I will not count out any team in the NHL that has McDavid and Draisaitl on their roster. I know it's just 2 players. It's not a team. I get that. But they've had good recent success with some big, their last 2 seasons were good. So it might just be a change behind the bench. Gerard Gallant, like, How is Gerard Gallant not there right now? How did Woodcroft make it through the night employed? Like how?
Yeah, I was looking this morning before our show, and a team now in Edmonton that is 18 points behind the Vegas Golden Knights. Coming up next, it'll be our version of lots of fun, and it's WTF Friday, which we now coin for the next couple of weeks, WTF1. WTF1 Friday. Stay with us. Your comments and much more coming up ahead right here on Locked On Golden Knights. You know, folks, we spend a lot of time talking together, you and I. We get fired up together, wins and losses and all of that.
Well,
who starts and who sits. I'm thankful for that connection that we have. And today, I want our chat to be just a little bit more personal. So I just learned that you can get a 1-year supply of ED medications. You realize what that means. Bring on extended travel, bring on the next natural disaster, bring on the next supply chain issue. You are covered, our friends. You don't have to worry about whether or not you can refill your generics for Cialis and for Viagra or those prescriptions. And this is possible because of our friends at Jase Medical. So go online right now at jasemedical.com and you can receive at jasemedical.com your 12-month supply on your daily medication. Remember to use the promo code Locked On at checkout for a discount as well. A verified customer had to say this about Jase. I am very much thankful for this service. Supply chain issues caused me to cut pills in half to have it. I ordered the antibiotic kit. I feel secure now. Prices are lower than local pharmacies, and I highly recommend this for everyone. And you need to do this, folks. If you or someone you love would like to get some peace of mind by having a year's supply of any daily medication, then you need to go to jasemedical.com. That's jasemedical.com to see if it's offered for you. Remember to use the promo code Locked On for $20 off your first purchase. Welcome back, Locked On Golden Knights. This is our Friday edition. Thanks for making us your first listen. Tony Cardasco, Chris Golick from Las Vegas. Tomorrow, the debut of the Chris and Chris show. It's a YouTube exclusive, bro.
It is. It's going to be fun. We're going to be about a 15, 20-minute show. We'll see. I mean, me and Tony, we always say we try to keep the shows shorter and never happens.
Yeah.
So
we'll
recap the Sharks game. We'll start there, and we'll talk about what's going well with the Golden Knights and why they are where they are, but we'll get it through the perspective of my 9-year-old son. So hopefully he'll be able to connect a little better with the kids that are enjoying the Golden Knights right now, and it'll provide a unique experience. It's going to be a good time.
I think we should bill it as your cartoon alternative.
I like
we'll
it.
Do that.
I like it.
Okay.
I like it. We'll melt your brain differently.
So it's time for WTF, What the Friday, or What the F1. A lot of conversation about Formula One on our thread yesterday, which I don't want to go into too many details about. I want to talk about hockey first. And okay, Jonathan Marchessault, please quit it with the hissy fits. I'm going to call him March Assault for what he did to the door in the penalty box the other night. He smashed the door on his way in and no more hissy fits. WTF, Jonathan Marchessault. We'll continue here with something from our friend Stephen Williams at Stu Williams 81. WTF, fans really complaining after a couple of recent losses. Massive amount of injuries, and we've had a dream start. WTF. It's a good one.
It's what is it? Not excuses. It's what was it?
Circumstances.
Yeah, circumstances. There we go. Circumstances. There we go. All right. So I'll jump in the F1 conversation because I had to write down Slewfoot, so I'd remember to kind of talk about that. So going a little deeper into the F1 stuff right now, that's absolutely screwing up our strip. And to be fair, me and actually my kids, right after we're done recording, we're going to go hit the Dunkin' Donuts drive-through, get some donuts in the car, and we're actually going to go drive around the strip, including around the F1 track before they close everything down. I think it'll be kind of a cool experience. Don't get me wrong, but
a 3-hour tour.
It might be. It might be. I hope not.
It's like Gilligan's Island. Yeah, come back.
Yeah,
please.
no,
Right.
it could be bad. And if it's bad, we'll definitely go into the pit and get out of there. But what gets me right now is all of these projections. Like there's an article that came out back around August the 28th about the economical impact and everything.
1.2 B.
Yeah, can we adjust that a little bit now? Like probably below a B or even lower because of how much everything is dropping. Room rates are dropping, flight prices are dropping, hotel rates, I think I said that already. Ticket prices are dropping. They're not putting up sections of bleachers, citing some crap excuse, which is code for we didn't sell these enough seats. So, instead of being on the finish line off Harmon, we're going to shove you all the way over by the Sphere where there's a couple of turns and an elevated experience. Like get the F1 out of here. Okay. It's going to be okay in the end as far as the economical impact. But like me and Henderson, what do I get? Like, are they going to build a park somewhere out here with all this F1 money? Like, what does it mean to the common folk, right? We know the casinos are getting fat off this. We know executives are getting fat off this with under the table bribes and handshake deals and whoever voted to bring this here. We know all these shady backroom things are happening. It's being talked about everywhere, but what does it mean to me down here in Henderson? What does it mean to someone in Southern Highlands who is dealing with this commute every day, but doesn't necessarily see the direct effects? Like, how is this impacting everyone as a whole? And the answer is it's not. I don't think the schools are going to see any money out of this. They see no money of the strip, it feels like. So that's my issue right now. I got a million issues. I'm sure we'll have more coming up next week. And then I'll jump in with another quick one. And then I got one more after that. But the quick one is going to be military appreciation tonight's at the Vegas Golden Knights game. Awesome experience. How cool would it be if they wore those awesome military appreciation jerseys for warm-ups and raised $1 million? Yeah, and raised $1 million or $1.5 million for local charities. Oh, yeah. The NHL doesn't want distractions. WTF.
I would put the camo, the sticker on my stick. The camo wrap. I would put that on.
They're allowed to do that now.
You're allowed to do that.
Yeah, so someone wore the pride tape on their stick.
Yeah, put the tape on.
And now that's allowed all of a sudden. So
okay, we know that you're listening. Come on, Kelly. You know you're listening. Get to it.
Give me 10 seconds here. So right before every NHL game right now, there's something about fair play and fan conduct and stuff. And they show fans like it's like a kind of like an animated thing, but they're wearing like the pride scarves. And this was recorded before the NHL kind of did a 180 on allowing the pride tape and stuff like that. So I mean, just like it's just so I don't understand the messaging is what I'm getting at here right now. That's all. Go ahead, Tom.
Okay.
I got one more later, but go ahead.
WTF, will William Karlsson get an opportunity to speak at the White House? And will Joe Biden have the opportunity to ask him about, should I go there? About nuances. What's a nuance? What's a nuance? WTF. I had to get that shot in there. WTF is this losing stuff from E-runs. Also, where is the fish? Come on, man. You're letting down these folks. Where is Goldie? We need an investigative report.
If they blow up the Sharks and I get Paul Cotter tonight, I'm doing it.
You and little Chris really need to dig in, man.
I'm doing it. No, if they have a blowout win tonight, I'm firing that shot. I'm firing that. Might be my last, but I'm firing it.
What's a nuance? Go. Okay. What is your last WTF?
So I had one a second ago. I just lost it, but I do got one written down here. So back to Woodcroft, right? They catch as he's walking off the ice with Dave Manson, and it looked like he had said that might be it. So Woodcroft, and all you see is Manson. Yep. That right there is the coach waving the white flag. Like, do not acknowledge defeats until you're gone. Like, Woodcroft needs to be kicking and scratching and whatever it may have you. But when your coach is walking off going, that might be it, that needs to stop right there. And that right there tells me that Woodcroft is done. He's done. He's done. And it's unfortunate because I would like to see him do well. I would like to see the Oilers be a very good team. But if our coach, I mean, you think there's a world that exists where Cassidy, after a long losing streak, is going to just go, we're done? No, he's not.
No. A couple of other WTFs. WTF from at Skynet VGK. WTF McDavid and Draisaitl fire sale after the Oil lose to the Barracuda. WTF.
Ooh, that's good. Oh, is that good?
At XReb_FanX, one of our fan favorites, definitely one of the members of the Tony Dasco fan club. More of a question than a comment. When Locked On VGK does a crossover with another team's Locked On, does Chris ever feel like a WWF wrestler whose tag team partner Tony turns heel and joins the other team, making it a 3 versus 1 match? WTF. I've already turned heel. What do you mean?
So I found a real fun one. I'm going to give Ken from Sinbin an absolute just amazing shout out here. So the person, one of the lead people, I forgot his exact title. So Nate, I'm sorry for misquoting you right now, but Nate he handles a lot of the media for the Golden Knights, and he's kind of our liaison. Yes. Okay. And he mentioned he got to do some speech. This is Nate. I got to do some speech writing today to be given at the White House. So basically, I'm a White House speechwriter, like Rob Lowe in The West Wing on my own way. So he was kind of, looking for, maybe like advice or guidance about what to write. So Ken from Sinbin says, use whoever Will used at the parade. That was a masterpiece. So major shout out for Ken from the top rope. That was brilliant. I love it.
Is that woman with the hook going to be there at the White House from the foundation? Maybe to pull someone off stage.
Hey, you never know. It could be needed. You never know.
We appreciate everyone tuning in, especially our everydayers. Don't forget tomorrow, Chris times Chris, as the Golics take over the airwaves on YouTube right here.
Let's go.
Of course. And no, that's a YouTube exclusive. No audio.
YouTube exclusive for now.
Exclusive for now. And we appreciate everyone tuning in, and make sure that you go to our YouTube page nonetheless and subscribe there. And on Monday, we'll have a lot to talk about. It'll be the White House Day. We'll have a recap of the San Jose game. VGK embarking on this 5-game road swing that starts on Monday. A lot of content for us, and we appreciate you tuning in. Have a great weekend, everyone. For my man, Chris Golick, Tony Cardasco from Las Vegas. We'll see you next time right here on Locked On Golden Knights.